Our passage for this week is found in Psalm 27, and I'm going to read it and then we'll talk about what it makes me think of. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war breaks out against me, even then I will be confident. As I've read this passage in the past and other passages, particularly in Psalm, where David or somebody else is talking about how armies are advancing against them or enemies are coming to kill them or whatever, I always think about the fact that this is not a modern day concern, at least not for me. I don't have armies coming up against me. I don't have enemies chasing me places or out to kill me. But what I do have is I have, and we all have, different enemies, different things that can come against us. It says, though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. I always picture these passages as, what is the enemy that I'm fighting? What is the army that is coming up against me? That I can look at this passage and I can say, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Not only whom shall I fear, but what should I fear? There's nothing that could ever come up against me, nothing that I will ever face that is going to take away the fact that the Lord, He is my stronghold. He is my foundation. He's the one who is the constant, even when everything is changing. And so when I look at this and I think of, wicked advancing against me to devour me, the reality of that it was for David, it's not the reality of my life. But we all face enemies of many kind. We all face temptation and distractions and maybe even people who are out to get us, but it's in a different fashion than the way that David describes it. But we can hang on to David's words here as he says that God is his stronghold. He is his light and salvation. And that it doesn't matter what comes up to us or against us or what we face, that our heart doesn't need to be afraid, and we can be confident in the fact that even if we don't know what's happening and we don't know what the next step is, God does. And I'm surprised over and over again how, whether I'm facing something really difficult or a friend is facing something really difficult, and just reminding ourselves that none of this was a surprise to God. None of it. None of whatever you're facing took God by surprise. He knew, He knows, and He walks with us in the midst of all of us, in the midst of all of the things that we face. He can be the sure foundation that we stand on when it feels like everything else is shaky ground. I hope that this passage is an encouragement to you. I encourage you that as you read through Psalms or Proverbs or different passages that talk about enemies or armies or whatever, that you look at it from a different perspective and ask God, what is it that I'm allowing to distract me from you? What enemies am I facing that I can use to lean into you more? Have a great week.